fun.
And off we go. Good morning, hello, and welcome everybody to day 2 of the measurement conference, the Aerospace Day. So the aerospace applications and customers represent a big part of our 25-year history. So aerospace always pushed us to innovate and to release the top-notch solutions. We started as the software company, but soon we needed a total solution, including hardware data acquisition systems. So from compact 43 to high dynamic SIRIUS, from test bench and laboratory applications to harsh outdoor environments. From data acquisition to control, from a single channel to thousands of channels. All connected in one system, all perfectly synchronized. But we didn't stop. We kept innovating, integrating state-of-the-art electronic components into a robust chassis of our new data acquisition systems, which are faster, more universal, safer. On one hand, easier to use, on other, giving you the option to configure it openly. And as you saw yesterday, we even added some brains to our hardware. All this with the same mission to make our instruments ultimate tools for the best customers in the world, you. So now I would like to invite to stage David Zubavnik to present what's new with IOLITE and IOLITE X systems.
So yeah, this was a quick preview, slightly exaggerated, but you know, the problems behind are very real. And for us, it is really important that we listen to our customers, that we test our system in a real-world environment, and above all else, that we constantly improve. So how does that look like in practice? Let's start with the IOLITE RTD. The first version was released many years ago. It was simple, it reliably performed the RTD measurements up to 100 samples per second. But we wanted to go further than this. We have created version 2, increased the sample rate to 10 kilosamples per second, and what is even more important, we have significantly improved the EMC immunity. And you know, this is the model you can buy today, and it's perfectly fine for the most of the RTD measurements. However, with version 3, we wanted to go a step further. We have wanted to create a truly universal resistant temperature device. And this one is capable of using any kind of thermistor sensors, such as NTC and PTC. It can measure up to 10 mega ohms of the resistance. And with the pulse excitation, you have ability to do a cryogenic temperature measurements. These are the really low, like minus 150 degrees measurements. If you move on, we have our KNFD product line. Currently, you have IOLITE, which can run a full KNFD speed on one port. This is up to 5 megabits per second. And you can use the standard CAN on all other ports. With IOLITE X, 4 times KNFD, which is getting released today, this limitation is gone. You get all 4 ports with the full speed. With SIRIUS X, it gets even better. In this case, you get 8 ports. But you must not forget that the SIRIUS X also has a dual KNFD port at the back. So if you do some simple math, 8 plus 2, you get 10 ports in total, which is, I would say, not bad. We also made some improvements on our low voltage product line. We have added internal shunt and created a 60-time LA. This device is perfect if you're doing direct current measurements. and you don't want to have some extra cables for the external resistors. We have also released the 4x LV band, which you also saw it in the quick preview. It has a really high isolation, and that's why it is really nice for the high electric potential measurements. And we have made a lockable terminal blocks because with the screws, because nobody wants to have his sensors being disconnected at the middle of the measurements. This was added to 8x LV and 8x LA, but we will also move it to all our product lines which use this terminal block. Okay, now another, I would say, real-life scenario. Imagine that you have EtherCAT rack full of EtherCAT slices. Everything is just fine. Then your colleague comes and he borrows 2 of those slices. This happens to me all the time. And now you know that this measurement will no longer work. With IOLITE blank, this problem goes away. You simply insert the IOLITE blank into the empty slot, and it will bypass the EtherCAT communication, and the measurement will work once again. Okay, then we have a SIRIUS R8 system with the S-box. You know that this system has IRIC and PPS synchronization, but now we have also added a PTP over the Ethernet synchronization. And why is this good? There are 2 main reasons. Number 1 is entire industry is moving slowly towards the Ethernet solutions. That's why all our new product lines written in orange already support this. And secondly, if you use PTP synchronization, there is no longer need for additional synchronization cables. And we all know that less cables you have, better it is in the real measurement, right? Okay, so yeah, we really are constantly improving. But with the next amplifier, we might have gone even a step further. Why and how will be explained by my colleague Wolfgang after a very serious short video.
The world is changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. It began with the forging of the first amplifiers. Some were sold to the Europeans, moral, wisest, and fairest of all beings. Some to the land of Asia, great craftsmen and masters of precision. And some were sold to America, who above all else desire power. For within these amplifiers were bound the strength and precision to measure everything. But they were all deceived, for another amplifier was made. In the land of Trubovlia, in the headquarters of Dewesoft, Dewesoft teams forged a master amplifier, and into this amplifier they poured their knowledge, will, and sweat to dominate the whole measurement market. 1 amp to rule them all.
Thank you everyone for making that video available and showing also like the mindset we have here at Dewesoft. It's really a huge team effort to make the most universal amplifier in Dewesoft history, to gather all the knowledge, gather all the ideas from not only development teams, from software, from hardware, but also from sales and also from the customers, which make it impossible to have those ideas, those requirements to go in that direction. But what does that actually mean in practice? You can measure voltages from plus minus 100 volts down to plus minus 100 millivolt. Very simple things. Obviously, you need to do that. We have excitation available, so you can supply your sensors with 24 volt unipolar excitation, plus minus 12 volts bipolar, and also a current excitation of up to 100 milliamps. And it's also featuring a 16-bit DAC, so it can really fine-tune in really small steps for specific application. That's really a nice benefit. With those options available, we can already measure also current. We have support for external shunt currents. We also, to make your life easier and allow a wider application, have added an internal shunt, so it's way easier to just measure current without any external sensor support or any external things you need to supply. In addition to sense physical deformations and also monitor structural health, we support the whole range of bridge measurement from full bridge, half bridge, and quarter bridge. And also in addition, we added a constant current quarter bridge mode, which allows us to mitigate lead wire resistance. So it's even more applicable for a lot of situations, and you can mitigate some problems you get through long cables. And the same way, we are also now able to support accelerometer microphones with constant current, which opens the door for noise and vibration measurements, and now finally without any additional adapters as we used before in our product. Measuring resistance and potentiometers, temperature using RTD sensors. Of course, the Uni has that. That's no question asked. And if you still have your application or your sensor not fully supported, we support the full range of DSI adapters we support from Dewesoft side. So you can measure charge, LVDT, thermocouple sensors in addition and have them fully supported in the whole ecosystem. And it's not any surprise that we also support TED, so you have simple configuration of your system, detecting automatically your sensors. So pretty much everything you can wish for those amplifiers. But now the big question is, what products do actually feature the Uni amplifier? First and foremost, we have the IOLITE line, which has EtherCAT support, so you can measure using Dewesoft X, using EtherCAT. You can integrate it into the Obsidian logger platform, so you can use it as a standalone logger, and you also can support it with an external EtherCAT controller the same way. And if you, in addition to channel-to-ground isolation, need channel-to-channel isolation, we also have the IOLITE I 4x Uni, same feature set, just for 250-volt isolated channels, and goes up to 40 kilosamples per second. And the next thing I'm really proud of, that we also featured that on the X product line, because there we support, even due to the gigabit Ethernet we have available on the IOLITE X platform, up to 200 kilosamples per second. And all the features we introduced 2 years ago on the IOLITE X platform. And it's probably the only amplifier you will ever need. Okay, maybe not exactly. If you need a higher channel count, you can use the SIRIUS X 16x Uni. It has some additional features like 2 kind of D ports. When we first introduced it, it only had 1. Due to the customer request, we also added the second port because it was available. You have additional synchronization options, and also one thing which is quite new, you have the full USB support, so you can use it as the SIRIUS product line we had before, the same way, and to connect it to Dewesoft X. And we took even one step further with the isolated 4x Uni device. So you have channel-to-channel isolation, and in addition on X-Line we support with this up to 500 kilosamples per second. And of course, you probably already guessed it, SIRIUS iX 8x Uni allows the same. I could probably now go on and on and on and on and bore you to death with different devices and variants we still have. Best is to talk to your local sales representative if you're interested in those modules to get more information. I'll also follow up further announcements for the product. Shiger, can you show us how to handle the big sparks with those devices?
Sure, yes.
No, this is Eva.
Okay, hello everybody. From my side, high isolation products. What do we all know about the high isolation products? One thing, definitely. We have to use them if you don't want to look like Eva and Andre. So, safety first. But what does safety mean? Contact safe, double insulated cable, and high isolation. That's all now combined, and it works across industries and wherever our users works in the electrical field. So, where? In e-mobility, from charger to high-performance battery to electric motors, looking at all attributes: thermal, durability, NVH, in bench and mobile testing. So, we make some products. Eva, can you please explain which are these products?
Yeah, so the first product is called IOLITE, high isolation, 4 times thermocouple. And as the name says, it's a 4-channel, fully isolated K-type thermocouple module. It's channel to channel and also channel to ground isolated, Cat2 1000 volt rating. It's perfectly suited for the harsh power environment, ensuring a great AMI immunity. Now we go to the next one. So this has the same isolation characteristic as the previous model. It's named IOLITE High Isolation 4 times high voltage. So with this one we have voltage range from 2000 volts up to 2 kilovolts. And finally, IOLITE High Isolation 4 times uni, the star, with the same isolation specification and all the amazing features that Wolfgang described previously. Additionally, it has a LEMO radial 2P 8-pin connector, which ensures a secure, fully isolated interface.
Eva, wait a minute. It looks really great, but we are dealing with high voltage. In a world of e-mobility, black isn't just good enough.
Oh, now I presented all this amazing specification and you complain about the color?
Oh, complaining. This is a strong word. Let's call it necessary clarification, because according to standard ISO 64669.3, high voltage components in the electric vehicles must be orange. It's a universal safe color. Warning. If testing engineer or mechanical engineer or firefighter sees orange, they know that there is a danger. So our equipment must speak exact the same language.
No problem. We have excellent mechanical engineers at Dewesoft. So, Andrei, can you solve this, please?
Always we are waiting mechanical guys, always. Great, Andrei.
Thank you. So, as you can see, the orange color is here not just for the show, but it also represents high isolation Cat2 1000 volts. And beside of that, we also need to take care that all the cables, connectors, and sensors also have the same specification. Otherwise, it's not really good.
Thank you, Andrei. Okay, these are amplifiers, really great amplifiers, but we all know that we, Dewesoft, cannot live without SIRIUS. Because of that, we also did this SIRIUS High Isolation X 8 times uni. So, universal model, 8-channel, and up to 500 kilo sample rates, channel to channel and channel to ground isolation. Voltage to 100 volting range. Of course, with LEMO radial 2P connectors. Eva, what is new in DCCT?
So in the following half of the year, we will release a full automotive-ready IP65 rated DC-DC version, DC-CT, and we also increased the current to 2 kiloamps.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's move to the real stuff.
So let's start with XHS Uni amplifier. We already introduced this one on previous measurement conference, but we made some upgrades. Now it can measure still with high speed, high precision, and low noise down to microvolts. But what we added was new feature for constant current excitation. This is where user can select high speed, constant current quarter bridge. And with this setting, it's possible to measure high-speed transients, for example, with slip rings in jet engine testing. We also designed high-speed, high-bandwidth charge amplifier. Here we took XHS amplifier and added DSI charge DC front-end to get the best of both worlds. High-speed performance of XHS and DC performance of DSI adapter. What we achieved is a unique amplifier capable of measuring high-speed events with analog bandwidth of 5 MHz and dynamic range of 150 dB, while also having a DC-like performance with high pass filter with maximum time constant of 1,000 seconds. So this high-pass filter can also be disabled to achieve true DC performance with less than 1 picocoulomb per second drift with no active correction circuitry inside. And yes, you can also connect IP accelerometers. As add-on for XHS instruments, we designed variable trigger counter module with 8 super counters. That means you have 24 digital inputs, and 8 of them can even be connected in AC coupling. So each digital input has 2 comparators where you can independently set any trigger voltage with custom hysteresis in range of -2 to +50 volts. It also has digital outputs, which have the same functionality as other counters we have. That means you can use them to trigger output to any analog or digital input in real time with less than 1 microsecond delay running in standalone mode. With integrated 5 and 12 volt sensor power supply, you can directly power connected sensors like Tahoe. So if you have any questions, you are welcome to check our demos outside. Thank you.
Wait, Marco. What do you mean? Nothing else? Didn't we do anything else in the last 2 years?
I don't know. Is there anything else?
Give it to me. Maybe we did just one little thing. For 25 years, we've pushed boundaries. We learned, developed, and innovated. And now everything we learned comes together into one system. A new generation of measurement platforms. I present to you the XR system. Okay, when we started designing the XR system, we didn't just want to improve existing systems. We wanted to rethink the entire concept of modular data acquisition. What you are looking right here is the ultimate integration of hardware, software, and connectivity. And to fit every possible testing scenario, we didn't just build one box. We built, let's say, 3 of them or a few more here. Today we are officially launching the SIRIUS XR9. This is our flagship, giving you 9 slots, for massive high-density channel count. Second, for a more compact measurement system, we are launching the XR5, packing the exact same performance, but into a smaller 5-slot chassis. And in the Q3 of 2026, the XR family will be joining the XR3, which is the smallest, most compact with the 3 slots option. So we have 9 slots, 5 slots, or 3 slots. It doesn't really matter. They all feature the exact same network-first architecture, and they all work together flawlessly. But to truly understand why this is such a massive leap forward, we need to look under the hood. So let's take the XR9 and break it down. Here we have the 9-slot XR device. Every device comes with a chassis and a built-in gateway. But what exactly can you do with it? How you connect it? Let me hand it over to Andras to show you what this device can really do.
Thank you, Milos. Yeah, so we can see nice XR9 here. The first question is how to connect. Yeah, we built this device as a network-first platform. So what does this mean? We have the switch in the back. We have the gateway, XR gateway on the right side. As we can see, it's integrated with 2 10 gigabit SFP ports. You can use copper or even fiber SFPs to connect to the PC, or even daisy chain another network device from there. Of course, the same port can be used for PTP v2 synchronization, so everything is synchronized perfectly. We didn't forget for our classic devices, so there are also 2 sync ports with complete ARIC functionality. Really nice feature to me is also a ColorF connector. This helps you to basically get the same signal from one wire to whole system, to all channels, just to verify the measurement before doing the real stuff. So you don't need to unplug any sensor to just double check everything is okay. And the final whole rack is basically OpenDAC compliant. What this means that you don't need only Dewesoft X. You can also use any OpenDAC compliant client to connect to the device, take measurements, and do everything. Okay, but now we have the chassis, we have the gateway, we can plug it in. We have 9, 5, or 3 empty slots. What we can put into it? That's when we've introduced the whole XHS lineup into this form factor. So what we have UNI, ACC, high voltage, low voltage, and also the new charge amplifiers. All of these have additional CAN port, and all can optionally have the counter modules on the back. But we didn't stop there. Yeah, we also brought in the X-Line. So we have isolated 8 times UNI, 16 times UNI, ACC, STJS, 30 times LV, and 16 times LVE. Now, if you do a quick look there, yeah, we can see that they're different, but you can mix them. You can build any system you need. You can configure basically a lot of possibilities. But also what is important, if you have 32 low voltage model and with a 9-slot chassis, this is 9 times 32, which is 288 channels. This is the biggest channel count system device in Dewesoft history. But let's take this into the practice. Now let's take a really short example of the system. So we have here the full XR9 with the 9 counter models in behind. So we can connect this via the Ethernet 10 gigabit to the Dewesoft X. But we don't need to stop there. We can chain another XR9, or we can chain another network device like XHS or X device. But as I already mentioned, we didn't forget for classic devices, so you can also use standard SIRIUS. You just need to plug the ARIC synchronization, and that's basically it. So we now learned how to define, how to configure your system. But I'm thinking, is there anything more we can do? Helena, do you have anything special?
So, when your project moves from a lab to mission-critical testing, you can just swap one measurement slide to S-Box module, which brings total stability and high reliability to the rack. What said S-Box? Powered by Xeon with a 6-core and 64 gigarams, it purposely built for your advanced processing and high-speed data logging. What sets this configuration apart in terms of reliability? Zero cable architecture. By moving processing inside of rack, we eliminate most common point of failure inherited in external cables in external laptops. Also, we have high-speed removable SSDs. They offer you ultimate data portability and security. Just imagine, you can easily swap drives between testing and your sensitive data will be physically secure. So, S-Box turned XR9 to fully autonomous rugged system with industrial grade of reliability.
Have the clicker? Enough about the specs, about the tech. Let's talk about relationship. Mitya, please.
Hello. If there's one thing I learned working with many years with engineers, the relationships are one of the favorite topics, right? Not really. But, you know, there's one thing really important to me. I think it's really important that everybody gets at least one useful thing from the presentation. I imagine there are different kinds of engineers here with also different authority when it comes to deciding about the capital expenses. So, there are those that can make the decision, spend the money, use whatever equipment they want, and maybe there are those that cannot. So for the ones from the second group that this might not interest you, I want you to take away one thing. So when you want to use Dewesoft, and your boss, the chief financial officer, whoever says this, just remember to tell him that we have a rental program and he needs to check our rental shop. For the rest of you, as promised on the opening ceremony, I will go quickly through some practical details of how our rental program works. So it's the when. So when the rental is suitable for you. It's the budget breaching, quick project scale-ups, long projects, basically whenever you feel this is the better option. There are, of course, some benefits of using rental instead of traditional ways of business. There's no risk of ownership. You have always the latest access to the latest technology. All devices include the full enterprise license. You have the flexibility, freedom, you name it. So what is currently available in the shop? It's the already presented, the new SIRIUS X 8x universal amplifier. The SIRIUS XHS is coming on in a few days, and there's a short list of DSA adapters. There are, of course, some limitations of how we can do this. Initially, the web shop is only available for direct ordering through online for European Union country members only. That doesn't mean that the rental is not available in other countries. If you're not from the country that's inside EU, contact your local supplier and there might be a way that you can figure something out. Okay, so the how. The shop is live. You can scan the QR code or plate it outside. First, you select the devices you want to rent, you select the quantity, and you click the next step. You can choose from monthly or yearly plan. Basically, we could say our rental is kind of a subscription. Monthly or yearly really means the payment term. you are deciding whether you're gonna pay every month or you're gonna pay in one invoice for the whole year. Let me explain this on an example of 8 times uni. So if you choose monthly, you have invoice due in 15 days. You multiply that value together by 12 to get a yearly value, and the rental will auto-renew every month. If you choose the yearly, you have the 30 days due payment, and the contract renews once a year. When you select your devices, you fill out your information, all the contact details, the VAT, and you also consent to our general terms and conditions. There's also another limitation. So in the country which the company is, you are limited to use the rental equipment only within the borders of your country. We charge a handling fee. It's a one-time cost. It's a one-time administrative cost that we charge per device only once. And if I zoom out a little bit, this is kind of the whole process in a nutshell. You go online, you put in the details, and you send the order. You get an email that your order has been received. Then our insights team checks all the details. One thing that's important, it's important that if you put in the order, it needs to be with your business email. If, for example, a Gmail account is put in, this order will be declined. Once the order is confirmed, every detail is okay, you get an email that your order has been confirmed. Once it reaches our shipping department and it's sent out, you get a confirmation that it's on the way, and you get another notification when your order has been delivered. Then it's up to you. You know, you can use it however you want, and depending either it's a monthly or a yearly plan that you've chosen, 30 days before, 7 days before, and 1 day before, you will also receive a notification that the rental order is about to renew. And if you want to stop using it, you just need to make sure that devices reach our HQ stock warehouse before the expiry date. And then you get a confirmation that the order has been returned. This is in short. I would kindly invite you also to visit our global supports team outside in the main hall if you are interested in more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitya. So we don't do these instruments, these devices for us. We do it for our customers. And we are the happiest people in the world when we hear nice case studies from our customers. So I'm happy to introduce Jason Truong, a senior validation and verification engineer from Safran, to showcase the advantage of Dewesoft hardware in his daily use. Jason, please.
Thank you, Jaka, for the introduction. So, you've seen my face, you don't need to see that anymore. Aerospace requirements. Aerospace is favorite word, requirements, requirements, requirements. Pretty simply, the aerospace is seeing a change. All right, on the left-hand side, as you can see, we've got electrical power. On the left-hand side, sorry, you've got energy density. Right-hand side, you've got electrical power. And in a very short space of time, we're going to need to increase our electrical power in aircraft. All right, traditionally, we've got bleed air systems, we've got pneumatic systems that do the heavy lifting that we convert into electrical power. This has to change. All right, these systems are heavy, they're outdated, they're old. These are 10-year-old systems. So just a few points on the graph. Well, let's have a look. 2024 has gone by. That's a while ago now. 2025, that's where we are. We're looking at 100 kilowatts. 2030 and beyond, we're looking at 500 kilowatts, even into the 1 megawatt range. How are we going to get there? Well, Safran, we need to change. We need to change how we are designing, developing our products. And at the very heart of that is Dewesoft. We've invested very heavily in Dewesoft data acquisition systems. along with the sensors to complement it. We've got SIRIUS X slices, SIRIUS XHS slices, IOLITE modules, you name it, except for the new shiny stuff, which I'm very interested in. We've got it. All right, and that's allowed us a new side of development and testing that we've just not traditionally seen before. We're now able to compare current voltages against vibration in the same data file. Unreal. So that's where we're heading. All right, I've got a talk right after this keynote in the Gala Hall where you can find out more about sort of the equipment that Safran is, a little bit about what Safran do, supply. You might not have heard of us. And also some really interesting subsystems and system level thinking that will be hopefully on aircraft in the near future. So I'll pass back to Jaka and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Jason. So with that, again, I would like to invite you to Jason's talk right after this keynote. So we are heading also to the Aerospace Forum. So one of the lecture will be from Jason, but he's not the only one lecturing. So here's the list of all the forum sessions in today's Aerospace Day. And we are really honored to have with us also the Slovenian Air Forces with the helicopter down right behind the Termana Hotel. So thank you very much for joining us and for bringing the helicopter. We have this helicopter equipped with Dewesoft hardware and with also new software features in it to present what's new and how this can be also used in a helicopter. So with the words of a famous Austrian, get to the chopper. So that will be all from our side. And for today's question is really only a sky limit? So enjoy the Aerospace Day.